One of the first moves you will learn at many Flair bartending courses is the nest, and it looks like this. And there are many other ways that you can perform this integral Flair bartending move. Stick around and I'm going to show you how to do this move plus many more and how to make them much easier. I will also share with you my pro tips to taking this move to the next level. Hi, my name is Tom and I've been a bartender for 20 years. I've competed internationally all over the world, winning UK Championship and World Championship titles. This channel is dedicated to learn everything you need to know about Flair bartending. I'll share my knowledge from 20 years as a Flair bartender, whether you want to be the best in the world or simply learn a few new Flair moves to use behind your bar. So if you're new around here, hit subscribe and click the bell to switch on notifications. Every week I share new moves, ideas and techniques for you to improve your Flair bartending skills. So what is the nest move? The nest is where a bottle or a shaker lands inside another shaker. A bottle or a shaker lands inside another shaker. You can land other objects in there, but normally we're talking about a bottle and a shaker when we mention the nest move. You can also land multiple shakers inside the shaker and a bottle inside the same shaker, and it's still a variation of the nest. So there are different variations of the nest, and there's different ways you can get into a nest move. Here's some simple examples. And you can hold the shaker in a different position or reverse, like this. Right, before we learn some of these moves, first I want to share with you my 2 top tips to nailing the nest every single time. Top tip number 1 is use a support finger or fingers. You may have seen this on some of the moves I've already performed, but if you have 1 or 2 fingers hanging over the top of the shaker, you make your target bigger and it gives you more control and more chance of landing the bottle or the shaker inside the other shaker. These support fingers are also useful for something else which I'll share with you later on. So if the bottle is coming over into the shaker and slightly misses, you can use your finger to push it back into position. So instead of the target being this big, it becomes much bigger. These support fingers aren't always needed. It is dependent on the move that you're performing, and I will show you an example of that later on as well. So stick around. Right, top tip number 2, cushion the catch. Now, if you've ever learned how to do a stall, if you want to learn, there is a video just up there, yes, you will understand what I mean. But basically, it means not just throwing the object and hoping that it lands in the position that you want it. You need to move the target to land the flying object in the correct position. To understand this better, I'm going to use a glass bottle. And first, I'm going to try and land the nest with hardly any cushioning of the catch, like this. Oh, it's loud. Now, when you get to a pro level, you are able to do this. As you're learning, if you learn to move that target object, dependent on the spin that you're getting from the flying object, the landing or the catching will be much easier. I hope you understand, because it does get a bit complicated. Like this. So the bottle was spinning a bit slower, so I had to move the target object down. Now if I spin the bottle faster, I need to move the target object up a little bit. Now these are only subtle movements, but you will notice this happening a lot more when you are learning how to perform some of these moves. With these 2 top tips in mind, you can then learn to nest in pretty much any position. You'll just first need to learn how to throw the objects. That'll make a lot more sense as we go through the video. So I'm going to show you 8 different variations of nesting moves. Most of these can be nesting a bottle inside a shaker or nesting a shaker inside the shaker, but obviously everything is landing inside a shaker. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my biggest secret when nesting shakers inside other shakers, which all the pros know about and learn to be able to manipulate multiple objects very quickly. I'm also going to share with you another tip The nest move is much easier with a glass bottle because a glass bottle slides inside a metal shaker much more easily than a plastic bottle. But if you can perform the nest move with one of my Tom Dyer fly bottles, then when you get to glass, it's going to be 10 times easier. Just before we go any further, the merchandise is available. I love Flair. Do you love Flair? I'm sure you do, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button. Check out some of the merch below. We've got t-shirts, women's t-shirts, towels, blankets, stickers, water bottles, and a few other bits and bobs in many variation of colors. Anyway, back to the video. Right, let's move on to learning these 8 moves. Move number 1, a single spin in front of you. This is super simple and super easy, and it's just getting you used to landing the bottle inside the shaker. So when performing the single spin, we're gonna hold the bottle in beer grab like this. We're gonna throw it up for a single spin. So it's gonna go do, 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 boom, and land inside the shaker using our support finger when necessary. If you nail that one, then you can try and add an extra spin. Yes. Nesting move numero dos is the back to front. Yes. The concept is the same as the single spin in front of us. And as I said before about learning how to throw the object, in this instance, you just need to learn how to do the back to front move, and then you stick the shaker in position and catch the bottle in the shaker. Yes. And as I said, when you get better, just add another spin. Yes. And if you want, you can come under your arm instead of behind your arm. So you can come up like this and land it there, whichever you feel comfortable doing. Nesting move numero tres is the single spin behind the back. Ooh. When learning this move, the support fingers aren't the index and the middle finger, it becomes the ring and the pinky finger. Because we're holding the shaker in tennis grip, like so. So you're picking the shaker up off the bar, and you've got, woohoo, these 2 little fingers down here, which are gonna be your support buddies. And if you see here, I've hardly caught the bottle inside the shaker, but using my fingers, hello, we've got a nest. Nesting move number 4 is the over the shoulder. And I've shown you this a couple of times in the video already. It looks like this. Same principle as the previous ones, but this time we're holding in beer grab when you've got these 2 fingers as your support fingers. And again, as I said, you need to learn how to perform the throw, which is an over the shoulder, and then you stick the shaker in position and land it inside the shaker, and that is your over the shoulder to a nest. Pretty much all of these moves you can land in a reverse nest. All you need to do is grab the shaker upside down, and again, pinky and ring become the support buddies, and then you throw that bottle over and land it inside the shaker. On to nesting move number 5, the multiplex nest. For this one, you're going to hold the shaker at the top between your index finger and your thumb, and the bottle between your other 3 fingers. And then you're just going to throw them up, and then you're going to nest the bottle inside the shaker. I'm going to show you first and then go through it. And the trick with this is you're throwing the tin for a single spin and the bottle for a double spin. Okay? But in this instance, you're going to catch the tin first, catch the tin, and then the bottle's going to double spin inside the shaker. Nest move number 6, the 2 tin split nest. Obviously, you can only do this with 2 tins, and you can do this with a large shaker and a small shaker as well. You're holding the tins ready to perform a split, and if you don't know what a split is, did a video on that last week. Go and check that one out. You're going to split the shakers and throw both of them up, and hello, nest the other one inside the other one. Let's go through it very quickly. To make this easier to understand, I've got a nice golden shaker and a silver shaker. So the gold shaker is going to be caught first. That is doing a single spin. And the silver shaker is also doing a single spin. But when you split them, they're going to go whee like this and land like that. To begin with, just try and catch them in beer grab like this. And as you get better, you can try and then do a reverse if you want to, like this. That means you'd have to catch that first shaker before it does a full rotation, turn it down, and land the other shaker right there. Yes. Nesting move number 7. Got it right that time. This is the flick out to reverse nest. Looks like this. Oh, yes. The way this works is you've got the bottle inside the shaker and you're holding the shaker at the base, and I have my little finger under here. And you need to learn how to flick. And you can learn to flick and catch in the same position to begin with. But then, as you get better, you're going to flick, you're going to drop this shaker down in between your fingers and your thumb, grab, and continue moving it like so. So flick, drop, turn, catch. Ready? Flick, drop, turn, catch. It's very fast. You do need to improve your reactions to be able to perform this. Nesting move number 8. This is the beer grab flick to nest. Catchy name, I know. Yes. As I said, if you can perform these moves with one of my fly bottles, then when you get to glass, much easier. This move is really similar to the previous one, but instead of flick, drop, reverse, catch, we're basically flicking around this way. And this movement is going to help you control the amount of spin that you're going to put on the bottle. Now, if you're going to use a glass bottle, you may find this much easier. As I said, a glass and metal slide much more easily. So, hello, the move becomes 10 times easier. But when you want to do a double spin with this, you might find it a little bit more difficult because of the slippery nature of metal and glass. So when you are catching 2 shakers, try this. You've got those support fingers. You're stopping that shaker drop fully inside the other shaker. Now, why is that important? Now, when you're performing multiple object moves, you need to be able to manipulate these shakers as quickly as possible. You don't want them to drop together because then you need to spend time during your routine to separate them to then move on to the next movement. Sometimes you do want them to drop together so you can throw them together behind your back and then you take the moment to separate them in the other hand. But other times you may want to catch and then go straight to a secondary move like this. This is the end, my only friend, the end. Well, that is the nest move in as much detail as I can give without the video being way too long. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you understand how to perform the nest, and good luck with those moves. Some of them are pretty tricky. And before I go, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of these legends right here who support me over on the Patreon platform. Now over there, I am posting my 3-Minute Thursday series. I am also doing a giveaway every single month where you can win Flair bottles or some of this delightful merch. Plus, I do have a live stream coming up on the 16th of May where it's basically Ask Me Anything. This is my patrons' chance to basically have personal training from me live online. So if you want to be involved in that, there is a link in the description below. And if you want to check it out for 1 month and test out and try out and see all those videos, you can do that and then cancel your subscription after that. But anyway, have a look down there, and a massive thank you to all of you guys and girls. I really do appreciate all of your continued support. That really is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you got to this part. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell, ding, ding, And until next week, see you then. Yeah.